Petty cash. What is petty cash? Petty cash is the small amount of cash kept on hand for minor expenditures. Let's look at an example. Suppose Susan owns a very popular cafe. While serving coffee, Susan runs out of supplies, making customers very angry. Susan decides to use $250 cash on hand to run across to the supermarket and buy more coffee supplies. Of the $250 petty cash, Susan spends $100 on supplies and miscellaneous expenses. She can now continue her operations, making customers and herself very happy. So how do we record petty cash funds? Petty cash operations involves 3 activities: establishing the fund, making payments from the fund, and replenishing the fund. To work out how to establish the fund, let's look at an example. On June 1, Susan cashes a $100 check to establish the petty fund and records the following entry: debit petty cash and credit cash. Making payments from the fund can be done by either taking cash from the fund in order to pay for the good, or employees can reimburse themselves from the fund from payments they have personally made. Susan should always collect her receipts for proof of purchase. Replenishing the fund. To replenish the fund, the remaining cash is counted and the company submits a check equaling the original balance. To illustrate, suppose on 31 June, Susan prepares the replenishment report. To replenish the report, Susan would subtract the cash remaining in the fund from petty cash to find the cash requested to replenish the fund. Susan must also document her receipts to ensure they are equal to the cash requested. To record this, you would debit cafe supplies and miscellaneous expenses and credit cash. So what if the cash requested to replenish the funds and total receipts don't match up? Suppose that the cash requested to replenish the fund was $3 above the total receipts. Susan must create a temporary account called cash over and short for the funds to replenish. To record cash over and short and replenish the fund, Susan would debit supplies expense, miscellaneous expense, and cash over and short, and credit cash in order for the total receipts to match the cash requested to replenish the funds account. By adding in cash over and short, the total receipts match the cash requested to replenish the fund. The cash over and short account is allowed to exist due to its materiality, which states that minor differences between 2 accounts can be overlooked due to the number being very small.